And to be honest, getting an internship here is more difficult than landing a full-time position.
Bachelors in United States for architecture, would you recommend that?
For example, if you do 5 years of the entire architecture here, you will get a bachelor's and a master's degree. So you can opt for that. So my I-20 amount was somewhere between $75,000. But I also ended up getting almost $28,000 of scholarship.
What kind of jobs do people end up doing if they do Masters of Science in Architect, which is a STEM course?
One more thing is please learn Revit. It is really important. Many offices, like 95% of offices, use Revit a lot. And while they interview and while they ask you any questions, their main priority is if you know Revit.
What does the interview process look like for project architect? What's the typical salary range architects make in United States?
Tell everyone to apply for smaller scale firms also, because they tend to pay much higher as compared to what the big firms are getting.
Before we dive into all the strategies and stories that we're going to discuss in this podcast, let me ask you this. Do you have a clear job hunting strategy to get an internship or a full-time job? Most people don't, and it's costing them opportunities. I've helped over 1,100 students with their strategies through my ultimate job hunting course.
And trust me, I'm not even kidding. I could see so many recruiters viewing my profile.
And it's been the best investment I've ever made.
The content is incredibly practical, filled with tips and strategies that make you stand out to recruiters.
It was one of the best courses that I have done till date.
This course covers everything that you need to stand out. You will get ultimate resume course, you will get ultimate LinkedIn course, networking strategy, access to 1,100 plus job seekers for support, and personal support from me through WhatsApp group. I will walk you through every single step that you need with real examples and the tools that will give you an edge. I don't want you to miss any other opportunity to land your next job or an internship. So check the link in the description. And now I will let you enjoy the podcast. Thank you, Aishwarya, for doing this. I am excited. Also, thank you for that cold email. I love that email because it got my attention. And I am excited because I know your cold email headline was, why is no one talking about this? So I'm like, okay, we should talk about it. And I'm glad that you were kind enough to wanting to talk about this field and also share your journey. So excited to have you here and share your journey. But before we do get started, let's do a quick intro. Who are you? What are you doing right now? What did you study?
So hi everybody. My name is Aishwarya. I am an architect right now. I am currently based in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I also did my bachelor's from India and I did my master's from Chicago, IIT Chicago, and currently I'm just in Hawaii working as a project architect.
What a life living in Hawaii. How is it? I mean, we looked at it. So after you told me, I was like, okay, me and Caitlin, my wife, we both looked at Honolulu and it's like, because we always visit Maui, which is more touristy destination. So we're like, let's look at Honolulu and see if like we can actually move there. We've been scouting different locations to move in United States, and Honolulu. Yeah, but it's very expensive. So I was like, okay, never mind. I don't think we can afford it. But how do you like living in Hawaii?
So Hawaii is amazing actually, but like there are obviously some pros and some cons. But right now I'm having a really great time. In terms of pros, I would say it has a great weather. It's kind of very similar to how weather and how temperature, everything is in India. So you kind of don't feel like you're very much away from India. That is a very big pro. And there is no cold weather, which I usually hated when I was back in Chicago. So the weather is great. And the one pro which I find is like they are not in any rush. So like you don't have like any specific like deadlines which you have to like cater to, and if you don't, then there is no any consequence if you even don't submit it on the deadlines. So people are very like laid back and like easygoing and in a party mode, and everything is like, that is a really good thing here in Hawaii. But sometimes if I talk about cons, it can also sound like not a really good thing, because everything is delayed here, from your bank appointments to your deliveries, everything is delayed. So but it's still worth it, I would say.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
for a lot of people, Hawaii is more like a vacation, right? People come only for like 1 week, 2 weeks, so they
yeah,
love it. But living is slightly different. But
yeah,
I didn't know that there were a lot of architecture things going on. But now it makes sense because it's an island. There's going to always be some form of construction going on, and
yes,
tourist industry is like so big over there.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm assuming, this is my guess, like you haven't told me this, but I'm assuming you're working on maybe a project which is also for tourists. Is that true or no?
Uh, right now not, but I guess there are a couple of projects that are aligned maybe like to the end of the year that are catering to the tourist, and they are designing something in the downtown of Honolulu, Waikiki.
Mm,
And
mm.
yeah, I mean, apart from that, currently I'm working on like town planning projects, some residential project, but there is a lot of variety of projects that I get to work on. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So for those of you who are like completely new to the architecture world in United States, let's go back. Like, did you have work experience in India?
Yeah, I had almost, I would say, close to 3.5 to 4 years of experience in India. I also had one internship, and I worked at two different architecture offices where I worked as an architect, full-time architect in India
In
before
India.
pursuing my master's. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something you would recommend people who are
Yeah.
planning to come to United States for their masters?
Yes, so I would advise them to have some sort of experience, like for sure, because if you don't have any experience, and so first of all, if you don't have any experience, you won't end up getting an internship here, which is already very difficult. And to be honest, getting an internship here is more difficult than getting than landing a full-time position. So you will only get a good internship if, in case you don't have reference or anything like that, only if you have like good amount of experience back in India. So that is what ended up happening with me. And yeah, and then once you get an internship, then everything else become really easy and manageable once you secure an
Mm.
internship. So yes, definitely do take some at least 2 years of experience in India, because it's really important, I feel.
Okay. So minimum 2 years of experience they should have, and if more
Yes.
is better, but 2 years, at least two
Yeah.
years, they should have. Would you
Yeah.
recommend? This is another question people ask me, like bachelors in United States for architecture. Would you recommend that?
Um, like looking at the current situation, I don't think so. But
Mm,
yeah, there are also degrees where they have combined degrees like bachelor's and master's in 5 years. So, for
mm,
example, if you do 5 years of the entire architecture here, you will get a bachelor's and a master's degree. So you can opt for that. But if your plans are to go to your country back, like which is similar to mine, I want to go back to my country after a certain point. So for me, I did not think about that. But yeah, you can do bachelor's and masters. It is a less time consuming also, but yeah, I mean it depends on what you want to prioritize, like
mm. Yeah, I
how you
think
want
it.
to study.
I was talking to another architect student, and she's probably the only architect student on my channel, and you're the second one.
Okay.
But we didn't talk about job market because she was studying architect also from IIT Chicago,
Okay.
but she was doing bachelor's, and like 4 years, 5 years is gonna be like $300,000 or so,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So that's a lot of money,
Yes, yes, yes,
especially if you're planning to do bachelor. So
yes,
assuming, if people are thinking of it, assuming they have a lot of money, but I
yeah,
think getting some experience doing bachelor's in India, get some foundation knowledge there, and then come here is
yes,
probably better plan. Unless
yeah,
again you have $300,000 sitting around and it's like, okay,
yeah.
I want to spend that much money, you can.
Exactly. Yeah. So the masters, like the plain masters, which even I did not opt for, which is for the 2 years, 66 or more than 60 credits. It also sums up to almost like more than a crore if done from IIT, like including all living expenses and everything. So
Wow.
which is too much. So that's why I did Masters of Science in Architecture. I did not do like just plain masters. So that was the four semester course that I did, a 4 semester degree. It was STEM and it had everything in it. But yeah, it was just 32 credits. And yeah, that was, I found that.
Hey, before we move on to the next part of the video, I want to quickly talk about our newsletter community, which you can be part of absolutely free. We are now going strong and we have more than 40,000 people in our newsletter community. So imagine 40,000 people are receiving my newsletter every single week, twice a week, where I break down all of the stories that we did and make it a valuable resource for you. So if you're someone who doesn't have time to watch this and you just want to get an email with all of the resources into an email, that is the place to be. I'll put the link in the description. I'll give you some example. This is the one for Tanvi, where how she got 2 co-ops and she paid off her entire master's fees. This is an example of Maya, where she got 3 co-ops and she paid off her fees plus a little bit of savings. Here is an example of Sahil, who got his green card in 3 years. Here is an example where we shared bunch of resources on job hunting. So I promise this is going to be valuable resource for you, and it doesn't cost you anything. If you want to be part of our newsletter community, link will be in the description, or you can go to link.udj.com/newsletter. This is the URL. And now I'll let you enjoy the video. And how much was this? Because you mentioned the other one is like more than 1 crore. What is this one? How much is this?
No, it came up to like close to 50 or $60,000, like including all the living expenses. So my I-20 amount was somewhere between $75,000, but I also ended up getting almost $28,000 of scholarship, which was one merit based and again one I got. So $14,000. It's like I ended up getting total $28,000 of scholarship. So yeah, it was pretty manageable. I feel it was a good deal, I would say.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
What about job market? Are there jobs in like architect field, and what kind of career roles people actually end up doing like after they become, because you don't have a license technically, and we should
Yes.
talk about licensing as well, but what kind of jobs do people end up doing if they do masters of science in architect, which is a STAN course?
Yeah, so Masters of Science in Architecture is very similar to Masters in Architecture, but the thing is, in IIT, the course was designed in a way that if I do end up doing Masters of Science completely, then I will be able to opt for second year of PhD, like directly. If I again want to do IIT, which I don't want to now, but that course was similar to like a PhD level kind, where we had to do a lot of research and all those sort of things. But yeah, after graduating, I will be able to apply to all the similar job roles that a master's in architecture students apply to, which is like the entry level designer, then junior designer, then designer 1, 2, 3. Those, yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's very very similar to what it's in masters. Interior designing also I can apply to. Then urban designer I can apply to. I can apply to few of these
And
roles.
is it
Then,
your
then
current
yeah,
role?
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just like there are other roles also, like sustainability specialist, then technical designers. Those are also there, but yeah, I mean, those are not very entry level. Like if you get a couple of years of experience being a junior designer or something, then you could opt for those roles. But yeah, those kind of roles are also open. So, yeah, after
Isn't
graduation.
your current role project architect?
Yes, yes. So actually, so as a project architect, it means that I will be allowed to handle the entire project by myself. But technically, if you see that I cannot be tagged as an architect here because I don't have a license in the US. So I would be called as a project designer on paper, like if because I don't have the authority to sign any legal documents or anything like that. But yeah, I have been on my offer letter and everything, they have mentioned that I will be working as a project architect. So my title is a project architect, but I would say I don't have all the rights of project architect.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
so yeah,
Okay. So you're
yeah,
doing the work of architect, but it's like,
yeah,
in terms of paper, like you don't have the license. So that's why you can't sign off on the
yeah,
diagrams that you guys do. So
correct,
it'll
correct.
be, but you'll still be doing the designing and overseeing the whole
Yes,
design and all
yes,
of it.
yes, absolutely, yeah, exactly.
And what does the job market look like? Like it's very
Um,
brutal for software engineers, data
yeah,
scientists, and business analysts. But what about architects? Like, are there jobs?
if you have some sort of work experience, if you have some sort of degree working under someone, having an internship and a really good portfolio and something which you could talk about in interviews, I feel like then it becomes easier for you to get a job. But also I know few people who are not getting anywhere like right now. So yeah, I mean it's very subjective, I would say. But if you have like experience and everything aligned, so it becomes easier for you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the magic sauce then? In your case, obviously, you like you
Mhm.
said, you have bachelor's degree, you had 3.5 years of experience, then you came here for masters. You did end up
Yes.
getting an internship, which
Yeah.
is the pivotal point. Like you're saying, like if people get internships over here,
Yes.
it's much easier because now you have some US experience, and it's
Mhm.
easier to convert that or easier to get full-time job.
Yeah.
So how, if and what you're saying is that job market is better than software engineers but still really bad, like, and
Yeah.
it's subjective. Some people are struggling, some people do get job. So in your case, let's focus on your story. How did you end up getting internship?
So I had I said almost 3.5 years of work experience, and I mean, to be honest, to getting a job or an internship, GPA does not matter at all. It is just like there is no debate about it, like unless and until you're like about to fail or something. But GPA, I don't think so they look at it, and you have to also mention anywhere in the resume about GPA, but you have to maintain like a standard about 2.5 or 3. So GPA is fine. Second is portfolio. You have to make an amazing portfolio. There are a lot of courses, and they actually teach you how to make an amazing portfolio. So yeah, uh, your overall application to stand out. Like you should have a great portfolio. You have work experience. You do have like a TARA somewhere. You have some research done, and yeah, so these all sort of things tend to add up, and then you might end up getting an internship. But in my case, what the thing was, I don't know, I'm still not able to figure out, because I did get interviews from few of the big firms, but I after interviewing also I never end up getting in it. So
Hmm.
I don't know what they exactly look for, but yeah, few like couple of firms, they were ready to give me an internship, out of which I chose one. So yeah,
Got it.
so that's the
When did
process.
you start applying for internship? What's the typical
Okay,
timeline?
yeah. So the main like the internships opening here in the US starts for the summers, which starts from May of every year. So many students, what they do is they start applying after the New Year's and everything, like in
Mhm.
January or in February, and they just have fun the entire time, like in December, and so which I would recommend not to do because or few people end up going back to their home, and like, so yeah, there are consequences for that. So you should not waste your time at all, and never take these vacations for granted. So what I did was I wanted to apply for 2024 summer internship program. So I started applying uh, from December start, like before the vacation starts, like the Christmas and New Year's. So I started applying before that, and yeah, I was applying
Mhm.
rigorously. I was applying like a robot, like a zombie, like 6 hours a day. I was like continuously applying, and yeah, I mean, you also have to be consistent. It should not look like you have applied to, like, for example, 50 companies a day, and tomorrow you haven't. Like, you have to be consistent, like daily. It doesn't matter how good your, I mean, it does matter, but that is not the only thing, but the maximum you reach out to people, for the maximum firms your work gets reached out to, the more there is a probability of you getting a reply from them.
And when you
So
say reach out to, you mean like applying or like
yeah.
reaching out as in through cold messages and cold
Um, so yeah, in architecture, the thing is, uh, there are various ways of applying for architecture jobs, which mostly many people don't know. And so many people think that after graduation you have to apply to these 200 top companies in architecture through their portals, and that's it. If you're rejected there, then you don't hold any chance of getting anywhere, which is absolutely wrong. There are many architecture firms, small scale, mid scale architecture firms, who are doing great, who are paying you a lot more, and who are actually willing to like actually know more about you rather than like your sponsorship or your visa status or those sort of things. So I feel like, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like that is what happened with me because I wanted the H1B sponsorship. That was the main reason I was rejected from every like the big company. And I also had talk with some internal people, and I got to know that mostly if you are on F1 visa and you want a sponsorship right now, they are not finalizing these candidates. So they are directly rejecting, like no matter how good your portfolio is, like how good your overall background is, they are not giving much weightage to people who want sponsorship. So yeah.
got it. Okay.
So yeah, you
And
also have to apply to like small scale firms, like for sure, because those are the only firms which where you might end up getting a job. And like my firm here in Hawaii is ready to sponsor me also, and it's great. So
mm,
it's very
and
important. Yeah.
if you were to go back in time or if you were to restart your masters, would you wait until December or would you start even earlier?
No, I mean December is fine. December is fine, but yeah, I mean you should not start to like do your entire application in December. Like if you're making the portfolio from scratch, if you're making the resume from scratch, your portfolio resume should be ready with you in a good condition before December, so that you could like directly start applying before, because from August to December there is one semester, and mostly on December first week or second week the semester ends. So usually students tend to go back to their home country or like have
Hmm.
fun.
Hmm.
But yeah,
And,
you should
and
apply that.
what does the architect portfolio look like? Like, is it online or is it like a physical? Like, how do you display that portfolio?
So portfolio can be online as well, and you can also make a PDF and send it over to companies. That is what I did. I mean, I do have a online. It is called issue.com. So where they upload like portfolios or magazines. So there I have my portfolio uploaded. It's free also.
And what
Yeah.
does portfolio like look like? Like, what do you have in it? Is it the past projects that you've worked on, or is it
Yeah.
the actual diagrams that you've done? Like, what exactly does the portfolio consist
So
of?
back in India, there is a conception about portfolio that you have to like upload everything that you have done so that it looks like you have done a lot of work. But here, the more less project and specific and precise projects you upload, the more good your portfolio be. So the projects can be anything: your academic project, your professional projects, your project of your own, any freelance work that you have done. It can be anything. There is no any such criteria for that. But yeah, it should not be everything that you have done. It should be the best of your works.
Hmm.
Is what I usually suggest. And obviously people write a lot in the portfolio that I have seen, that they write like huge paragraphs and explaining all the diagrams, which is not at all necessary. No one's going to read your anything that you have done. They just have hardly 5 minutes to do that. So
Hmm.
don't write much, and just make it beautiful, like visually appealing, aesthetic, I would say.
Amazing. Is your portfolio available for people to
Yeah.
see, or is it
Yeah,
only?
I have it available. Yeah. So this was the portfolio I made. So I did not make like an entirely new portfolio. I added few of my projects which I done during my masters, and that's it. I mean, this was the portfolio I was using, the drawings and everything I was using to apply for like since I was in India, since I was applying for positions in India. So it was not very much updated after that, but I just added and kind of removed few projects which I
Hmm.
felt were irrelevant now.
Got it.
So yeah. So as you can see, I added like some 7 projects. That's it. And I feel like even if you just tend to stick to 4 or 5, it's fine. But I also wanted to show about my thesis, then my bachelor's thesis, then
Hmm.
some ongoing projects and some academic. So it is a compilation of all the kind of work, like one professional project, couple of professional projects I have. So I wanted to show that hierarchy. So
Nice. So if we
yeah.
keep going, okay, so this is where you start like getting
Yeah,
deep.
yeah, this was the first project that I did during my bachelor's, and I documented it on Revit. So your portfolio should not just be like just pretty, I would say, but it should also document like the your software skills, what you
Hmm.
are good at, and what softwares you have actually used to produce this drawing.
I'm saying like I'm assuming these are like an actual drawing from Revit versus like some random examples.
Yes, yes, yes. These are the actual drawings from Revit, and I did this project and during my bachelor's, and I documented everything on Revit. So the main motive of me putting this project in the portfolio is I wanted to show these exploded views because yeah, one more thing is please learn Revit. It is
Hmm.
really important, and many offices, like 95% of offices use Revit a lot, and while they interview and while they ask you any questions, their main priority is if you know Revit and if
Hmm.
you have done any architectural drawings, the construction documents, which are the most difficult in on Revit. And if you have done that, then obviously it's a plus for them. But if you haven't, then obviously like they might not hire you because Revit is the only thing that most firms use here. So be really good at Revit, learn Revit, do courses in Revit. I also took some advanced Revit elective during my masters. So
Hmm.
like focus on Revit, I would say. Then I also focused on my thesis, which was my current thesis during my masters in science. So just make sure you add like variety of drawings. It should be from small scale projects to very large scale projects, like
Hmm.
whatever you have done. It should show like a lot of variety in your
Hmm.
drawings.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, this was one other project. So yeah, this was the project I usually like to talk about a lot because it is kind of like a social issue in India, which I am giving an architectural solution to it. So
Hmm.
include these kind of interesting projects where you will be also able to talk about your projects, not just
There's a
like
story
graph.
behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, these kind of projects you can try to upload.
Nice.
And then there is this one project called as the Bombay Zoo, and it this project also I worked during my professional experience in India, and yeah, so this is actually the Bombay Jizamata Zoo and the
Hmm.
redevelopment of that. So you might be knowing about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is just I wanted to show my 3D skills and everything. Then there is this one project. It is just some academic project. Then here I wanted to again show some software 3D skills. So
Hmm.
I tried to like inculcate this. Then this is again my bachelor's thesis. So yeah, as an architecture student, there is a plus point that you 100% you would have done thesis at least once in your
Hmm.
bachelor's or master's. So make sure if like it's if you like talking about it, then make sure like it is a, a good topic, and like it's you should be able to talk more on that so that they'll think like, okay, she has done a lot of research and she's actually passionate about architecture. So
Got it.
make sure to include these projects, include detailed drawings, and showcase as much as software skills you can. And
Nice.
yeah.
That is again, thank you so much for sharing that. I will, if you want, I can share the link so that way people can actually look it.
Yeah.
But this at least give idea to people, like how to present it, how to make their portfolio. And so
Yeah.
would you say that every time you would apply to a job, you would also upload this portfolio every single time?
Yes. Yes. Every time like I was applying to job, I this was the only portfolio I used along
Hmm.
with resume. And if they're asking for a cover letter, you can draft that as well.
Yeah, and
But yeah, like yeah.
I'm assuming that because you had multiple job interview calls for summer internship, even though you
Mhm.
didn't get it from the big tech, your resume must be good enough. So,
Yeah.
like, and that is probably also very different from Indian resume, where Indian resume
Yes.
you have photos and like 2 columns, 3 columns, versus over here it's like
Yeah.
plain black and white, different structure, different format. So how did you structure your resume, and what is the important
Mhm.
thing for architect to put in resume?
Okay, so architecture resume, to be honest, you can experiment a bit in that. It doesn't have to be like strictly ATS format. So unlike other technical jobs or other technical fields, so the main mistake that students do is like, if for example I have interned for 8 months in a certain office here in the US, so many people just write, okay, I have just interned. What was my position? Architecture intern, the name of the company and the time span. That's it. And they just write like couple of lines, which is very wrong. You should write a proper description of your work, whatever you have done, like minimum like 5 to 6 points. You should highlight the keywords, what softwares you have used, what design stages you have worked in. It should not be just a like a pointer, like okay, I have worked under this project and that's it. You should detail out your entire work, and that is how the recruiters will get to know that okay, this person has done this much, so we can at least give that person a chance for the interview. So
Mm.
make sure you like write proper description about whatever work you have done, and look at the requirements of other companies that they have that they have on their career portals, and just customize your resume as much as you can, because mostly what you have done only that, those are the only things they're looking for. So make sure you align to their requirements and not just randomly send one resume and send it over to everyone. So yeah,
Mm.
this is one important.
Based on like so far your experience for internship and full-time job, now that you have to redesign your resume,
Yeah.
what how would you frame sentences? Because see, in product management and software engineering, we focus on numbers. Like it is good for us to have quantification, meaning
Yeah.
instead of saying like, oh, we developed a product, we will say we generated X amount of revenue because we built a product using this technology. So it's a
Uh-huh.
very typical format that we use versus architecture. Like, is there things that you would, how would you write your bullet points?
Okay, so I mean, in my resume, so uh, in architecture, like I would say, there is not a specific format, but this is the one which I followed. I
Okay,
can
we
just
can
read
hear
out
it.
like a couple of sentences so that people
Yeah.
will get to. So yeah, so if I have to like mention my work back in India. So for example, I have worked for this particular firm in India in Mumbai. So I have written it in bullet points. For example, I led the full project cycle from early conceptual development to project completion, which ensured seamless execution across all phases of work. Then I comprehended and implemented BIM standards, which is like Revit, in projects while creating structure work sets. Then I followed the quality assurance and control procedures, which ensured compliance with company standards. Then I created presentation drawings and provided support for both internal and external presentations.
Mm.
Then yeah, I collaborated with a multidisciplinary office environment, working across various sectors such as data science, healthcare, education, commercial. Then I designed building elevations and podium facades to ensure architecture aesthetics. Then I performed design analysis and things like that. I calculated areas and made area statements. So yeah, I mean, even if you don't use like lot of technical words, it's still fine, but it should demonstrate like what work you have done, and it should align with their requirements.
Yeah. It looks, it sounds like you have done some form of architect work. At least
Yeah,
I don't understand a lot of it, but at least it
yeah,
sounds like you've done some
yeah,
form of architect work when you were reading it. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So in your case, the first summer internship that you actually got, was it purely cold application, like you applied and you got an interview call, or did you get it through referral?
Uh, so I was applying to a lot of offices at that time. And yeah, I mean, one of my friends suggested me to apply there because they had a vacancy, is what he got to know. And
Hmm.
that then I applied there, and then I got an interview from them, and then the entire process started. But uh, yeah, so my friend who told me that there was an open position there, which made me apply there, which was really helpful. But
Hmm.
yeah, usually like for my this job that I am in, the like I just mailed them about it, and I sent over my application, and I told them that I'm looking for this position, and also did some research about their office, and I was really interested actually to apply to their office because I liked the type of work they were doing and everything.
Okay, interesting. So your current project architect position, you did not apply online. Instead, you emailed them, cold email
Yes,
them.
yes.
And how did you in the first place, how did you find this company? How did you find the email address? And then,
Mhm.
like, what did you say in the? Of course, I know your cold emailing technique because you've obviously got my attention. So, how did you email? Like, what was your email content?
Okay, yeah. So while doing a cold email, first of all, do a proper research about the company. Okay,
Let's go for the first step. How did you
yeah,
find out this company? Like,
yes,
what was your process of finding this company?
yes. So there is an important website which I can also provide the link for, which is called the AIA official website, where they have a list of all the architecture firms all over the US, or rather all over the world, who are registered to AIA architects, which is registered to AIA, and the full form of AIA is American Institute of Architects.
Hmm.
So the all the architects who are registered under American Institute of Architects are in that website. So, and they have provided the link of their forms. If there is an individual person, they have provide link of everything. So I just went to their website. For example, if I inserted Illinois, so they'll give all the architecture firms who are under AIA in Illinois. So it comes up to like
Hmm.
almost 1,500. In LA, in Cali, it's almost like 3,000 firms. So, and you could just like uh, keep on applying quickly. You just don't have to like focus on, okay, now I have to search another company. There is a exactly like what you want, the list, and you can just like directly start applying from there without thinking much about anything.
And sorry, what is this platform you said?
Yeah, it's classic.aia.org. It is a firm directory, so it is like a directory of all the firms registered under AI in all over the world. Type any state name of any state, for example Hawaii or anything, and it will give you the a list of all the architecture offices.
Oh, right. Yeah. Hawaii. And then,
Yeah. So see, if you can see, there are links provided below the name of the firms.
right.
Yeah. So you could
So
just on that.
you would then, let's say, Advanced Architect LLC. This is in, oh, maybe this one, AEPAC, with this is in Honolulu, which is where you
Yeah.
are. So you click on that,
Yeah.
it would open the actual architect firm. And
Yes.
then would you go on join our
Yeah.
team?
Yeah, join our team or apply if they're looking for positions. So you can like just directly apply through their portal. And I would suggest, even if they're not looking, or even if they have not told
Posted.
anything about, yeah, if they haven't told anything about the type of role you are looking for, still I would suggest, if you are in a really bad situation where you have to get job in like a month or so,
Hmm.
you still apply everywhere you can to every architecture office, and they will reply you uh, if
Hmm.
if they have. So mostly what happens is, even if they have mentioned that they are looking for like a person who has 5 or 7 years of experience, they can actually give you a chance if you have 3 to 4 years of experience, if they are if you are what they are looking for. So
Hmm.
at least you should definitely give a try rather than just ignoring it.
Got it. So your full-time job hunt process was you go to this firm directory. This is all the architect firm that has
Yes,
been registered to
yes,
AIA, and then you would filter it based on the state and the city, or just
yes,
state, and then you would start looking at each firm, and then
yes,
you're like, okay, this firm has the position or doesn't have the position. You are doing thorough research of figuring out what do they do, what kind of projects have
yes,
they worked on, and then you either apply or you send them a cold email, and then
correct.
how do you find emails?
Oh yeah, so it is so if you go to any other office, so
Okay,
mostly like
here we go.
they do have a email ID
So
mentioned
architects
in the,
Mavi, let's look at Mavi, if you're
yeah,
interested in Mavi, and
yes,
then you would go here. Okay, oh,
yeah.
there it is. So send.
Oh yeah, so yeah, this email address. So never underestimate any, even if you feel like the website is not that great or anything. There are people there hiring, and like maybe they are not very much updated
Right.
socially, but yeah,
Yeah.
there are. Yeah, so any firm you can, yeah, this you can search. So there will be a email address which they have provided like 100%. Okay, some have some issues with their website,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
but
mean, and that's the trial and error that you will have
yeah,
to kind of go through, because but you still have the resource that is
yeah,
available. So let's say this one, there we go. It
yeah.
has the architecture. So now, would you go to contact us? I'm assuming.
um no, I would first like see if they have mentioned a career page, then I will see whether they have a listing for the position. And if
Mm,
not, if I'm not able to find anything solid or concrete on the careers page, okay, they don't have. So yeah, even if they don't have, please also do mail them by asking like what, if in case they're looking for it or anything. If they still don't have, it's fine. Many a times their websites are not very much updated. So yeah,
mm,
you don't have to like miss any chance. So
yeah, yeah. So I found another one which is like
yeah,
looks slightly better in
yeah.
terms of website, and looks like there you go, project
Oh
architect.
yeah. But
So
if you see like they are asking for should hold a minimum of 5 years of experience, and see they are asking Revit. Uh,
mm,
uh, if you have like an experience with Revit, it's a must and it's a definitely a plus. And yeah,
mm,
but project architect here, if you could see, they're asking for a professional licensure. They are preferring. So, but
yeah, it's
again, they're
preferred, but
preferring.
it says however registration is not required.
Yes.
Non-licensed designer must have 3 years of which
Yeah.
includes project management and all phases of architecture. So it looks like whatever your resume points,
Yes.
you would
Yes.
still do this: AutoCAD, Revit,
Yes.
Adobe. So I'm assuming all of these tools you
All of
have. And yeah,
yeah, and they have also, yeah, how
yeah,
to apply
work
maybe a cover.
sample files not larger than 5 MB. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
your
so,
resume, cover letter, if you are interested in this position. Nice.
yeah. So
Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's really easy, but yeah, it's very much time consuming, and the more effort you put on drafting each mail, the more you have chances of getting like something back from them, even if it's positive or no.
Yeah, this is fascinating. So you would do so, but this is a very time. Would you say this is a time-consuming process, yet effective? Like very effective, because you are like actually going through each one, and then because some of
Yeah,
them may not even post it on LinkedIn or Indeed or any other job portal, and you
yeah,
are directly getting to the actual
yes.
company.
Yes, yes, and many a times it's happened. It happened with me that they had the entire their team contact list also. So you can
Mm,
also mail their team members. Like I won't tell you to like do it compulsory, but if you're really interested in a particular office and if you are not getting any reply, so you could also like mail their partner or the principal architect of that firm and maybe try to get a response for that.
Mm. What does your format of cold email look like? Like, how do you start? What do you
Mhm.
say? Is there like a word limit? Like, okay, I try to keep it under this much. I usually have bullet points. I start with this, I end with this.
So I used to write something about the firm. Like at least you should know something. It should not look like your email you're sending it out to 100 other firms,
Mm.
because they easily get to know if you are genuinely interested or you are just sending out just trial and error you're doing. So it should look like you have done some sort of research about their firm, about the people in their firm, and it should highlight the amount of experience you have, the amount of softwares maybe you are using, and that's it. Like maybe like 100 or 150 word email would be sufficient. And yeah,
Mm.
make sure to include your portfolio and resume in the email.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And so this is how you got the interview call. What does the interview process look like for project architect?
So our interviews are not very like technical, or like they'll tell you to do anything like on the spot. It is not like that. It is very much based on what experience you have already had. It is completely based on that. So whatever you're saying, they usually tend to believe it because they will be able to get to know from your
Mm.
portfolio or any other
Mm.
drawings that you could share. But yeah,
Mm.
interviews are not very like
So again,
hectic, I
how
would say.
many rounds? Sorry, is it like one round, two rounds, total of three rounds? Is it starts with recruiter, then the architect? Like, how does the structure goes?
Yeah, many a times it starts with a telephonic interview where the HR calls and asks like about the availability and the salary expectations and what am I looking for, and they have some list of questions which
Mm.
I found out to be different for all the firms, but not very difficult.
Mm.
Then after the telephonic interview, they have an interview with all the other team members, architects or like the head of the office or those people, and then they uh, try to know more about you, about your experience and everything, about portfolio. And at that point, they pretty much get to know whether they actually want to have you or not. And the third round is mostly salary negotiations, where yeah, I mean they tell
Yeah,
you like
you got the offer now. Now you
yeah,
discuss whatever the
yeah,
salary. Gotcha.
yeah,
So technically, it's just one main interview, which is where
yeah,
they discuss your qualifications and your like updates. They also try to figure out like yeah, and it might be different with for different companies. Maybe there's
yes,
another additional behavior round or something like that.
yes, yes, yes.
Got it.
Here there is not any behavioral rounds or anything. I mean, as far as I have given interviews, I haven't experienced that, but I don't know about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What's the typical salary range architects make in United States? You don't have to
Uh,
tell me your salary, just like what
uh-huh.
is the range people make?
Yeah. So I would suggest like this is very sad actually, I would say, because like architects are paid really less, like
Mm.
really less. Like so there is a big office, a big firm. It's called SOM, and like all architecture students might be knowing about that. So I just recently visited their site and I just saw like their career page and how much compensation they're giving. So for urban designer or for a junior designer who has recently graduated, where they're actually looking for if they have experience previously. So even if it's junior designer, they have
Yeah.
mentioned that you have to have like 2 3 years of work experience. But whatever, and after that the salary that they are offering is between $58,000 to $65,000. This is
Mm.
the salary range they are offering, and
Wow.
this is for SOM. And other offices like Gensler, they are offering might be like 70,000 or 80,000, or a few other people also I talked to who are working at really good offices. They are getting somewhere between 70 75 or those sort of things. And
Mm.
that is the reason I really tell everyone to apply for smaller scale firms also, because they tend to pay much higher as compared to what the big firms are getting, because they are giving you the brand name and everything. So
Mm.
I mean,
And when
yeah.
you
So
say higher, you mean like the higher range limit, like 75-ish kind
the
of.
higher range is like somewhere close to 100,000.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So do people do get 100K as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, got it.
yeah.
Nice. Nice. And then I know you mentioned that you had scholarship, like two different scholarship.
Yes.
So do you feel confident that you will be now able to pay off the loan, education loan?
Yeah, yeah, actually, like, so I had almost like 40 lakhs loan, which has summed up to 40 lakhs INR right now. So, which is like close to almost, I don't know, 50, $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so I will be able to pay off the loan in like an year or so. So,
nice.
that would
That's
be,
amazing. Okay. And then I'm assuming in your current job also, they are also sponsoring H1B as well.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
nice.
they are. And mhm.
And in your case, can you apply for license and become a license? And does that mean now you make more money, or still you will make less money even if you have license?
No, so the license procedure here is difficult. So back in India, I don't know the situation right now, but once you graduate, you can directly apply to license. There are not any specific exams that you have to give for securing license. But here, there is a lot of work. First of all, okay, so about my degree, so it was not an accredited degree. Uh, which
Oh.
so the degree has to be accredited, and even if it's not, it's not an issue, but it will, like, I don't know what are the consequences of that, but it might delay your process by some 6 months or a year, I
Hmm.
guess. But yeah, I mean, the degree has to be accredited, and if not, also there are many ways which I am going to opt for. But yeah, if it's not accredited, then you have to have work hours for like some 3,700 work hours, which sums up to like 2 years. And after completing those work hours, and you have to like fill in those hours and let your employer know about it, and uh, they will approve those hours. And yeah, so after a particular time, then you are eligible to give the
The
exams.
exam.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And for prepping the exam, so mostly what happens is, when you are working for an employer, for example in my case, so my employer is willing to sponsor my license and
Hmm.
all the exams and everything. So usually these kind of firms are very cooperative because they need
Yeah.
licensed architects.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, getting a license is a good huge thing here, and you will get properly compensated after that, because you
Hmm.
have the authority to sign legal documents
Yeah,
and
and you become more valuable as well. So more job
yes,
offers as well, because not
yes.
everyone will have license.
Yeah, yeah. So everywhere they're mentioning that they are, it is preferred. It is preferred everywhere they are mentioning. So but they also understand, on the other hand, that if you are a recent graduate, you won't be having the license. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but they
Nice.
prefer if you are in the way of securing the license.
Great. This was amazing. I learned a lot about architect and the world of architects.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we'll do more deep dives as well. But any
yeah.
other final words of wisdom, any other final advice for international students who are planning to pursue their career in architect?
So I would suggest, like, don't just come for specifically for architecture. Don't just pursue architecture after coming here just because you want to earn money, and you
Mm.
want to have the like the highest paying jobs or anything, because that is, to be honest, I'm sorry, but that is not the case. And
Yeah.
it just completely depends on your experience, the amount of work that you have done, if you have like a TARA experience, and or it all depends upon your experience, your portfolio. And so, and yeah, one more thing that students usually do is like they try to work somewhere else, or like try to earn some few pennies from somewhere else, which I feel like it's not necessary like to do at that stage. You should just focus on applying for jobs and your academics and everything, and that is how you will end up securing a position
Mm.
like soon.
Nice. Again, thank you so much, Aishwarya, for doing this. Enjoy Hawaii, but I can't wait to bring
Yeah.
you back until our
Yes.
next one.
Keep smiling, keep hustling.
Nice.